Hi everyone, this is Michelle at michellesizemore.com, and my website link has one L in my first name. Lots of people put two and then they have trouble finding me. Today you'll learn how to make these 2-page layouts, and they use a similar technique but different. So I'm going to show you this one first because it's the easiest. Set that aside. Set this aside. I'm going to grab my custom cutting system with the jumbo wavy square template, and this is my guide that goes with my template. Well, let me grab it, this guide. Okay, so basically what I did, this is a skinny piece of brown pattern paper, so I used 2 blades to get this skinny frame. Red blade and blue blade. And so let me just show you how these blades work. The blades fit in this track right here. There's a track, and I want this wave from the outside, so I'm going to put my 2 little notches inside the track on top of my mat. You put the notches in the track and then go around. So when you look at your pattern, this light blue kind of aqua line matches up with the edge of the template. The red just means you're going to use the red blade to get that size line. Green means green blade. Blue means blue blade. To get this look, when you're using 2 blades, it's very important that you cut the biggest one first. So I'm going to start with the blue blade first. All right, set this aside. I don't really need my guide anymore. Here's my mat, and these are all the items that I used to make this. Now, I love the Sunflower Fields collection. That's the collection that I'm using, and I've used up all of my big pieces of this brown paper. So I just want to show you, this is the paper that I made the sample with. As you can see, it's got like a subtle 2-tone look to it, and I really like it. But since I don't have enough of it, I'm going to show you with my brown cardstock. So I want to line my cardstock up with all these bold edges on the outside of my mat. Okay, and then I'm just going to mount this down just a tad with a little bit of this repositionable tape runner so it won't slip on me. I usually don't do this for my smaller patterns with the custom cutting system, but I do like to do this with this jumbo pattern because it helps, because I need to be precise with it, and I realized I kind of got off just a little bit. Match it up on all sides. Okay, that looks perfect. Now, I'm going to use this on top. Now, I've added these Sharpie marks to help me just with my measuring. So right here, I put a Sharpie mark here, 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 and here at the 6-inch mark at the center of my mat of each side. And then I did the same thing, I don't know if you can see that, here, 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 and here. So that's just a Sharpie mark that I made. And this just helps me to center this up because I want to try to be precise with this, because on another idea, I'm going to use the outline if it turns out well. So first thing I do is try to match up my lines, and I start horizontally, try to match this and this just to get them on this at the same level over here too. So that looks like it matches up. I could even get a ruler. You do kind of have to be picky about this with this particular pattern. I'm usually not picky on things, but yeah, I think that's good. And it looks centered here and here as well. A little bit over. Okay, now I've just rolled up a tiny little piece of painter's tape with the sticky sides all the way around the outside. I'm actually going to stick that down just a little bit to keep, well, I need to make sure it's all the way under so it won't be messed where my blade comes down. Okay, stick that down and do it down here too. You don't have to do this, but it does help me to keep things from slipping on me when I use these big jumbo patterns. Okay. Now, the first cut I'm going to make is the blue blade because, again, since I want to get a skinny frame to go all the way around, I want to start with the edge, with the blade that's the furthest out. So, let's do this. So, I want to come down like this with the blade. So, I'm going to start up there and come down. So, my blade is open. There are these two little plastic notches. Those have to fit in this track. They both need to be in there for this to work. If they're not in there, it won't work right. So I'm going to go back just a tad. It just helps to do that to keep my paper from shredding. Start going back a tad and then start working your way down. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut. And I'm pressing firmly as I go around and making sure I get in all the grooves. It's going to take a minute just because I have to go slow with this. And I feel like I eased up right there a little bit, so I'm going to go back because this blade works backwards or forwards. It's sharp on both sides. If you find that your blades start shredding your paper a little bit, that probably means it's time to change your blades. I haven't had to change my blades in a long time, and I use these a lot. Okay. All right. So I have now gone, nope, not all the way around. I still got this one edge. Okay, I've gone all the way around. I don't want this to budge at all. Important. Now I'm going to go around with my red blade. So the blue blade was the furthest out. This red blade is going to come in closest to the edge. Make sure both of my little teeth are in the track. Little teeth, little notches. They look like little teeth poking out. Go back first and then work my way down. I will say this works easiest with cardstock too. You have to be a little bit more careful when you're dealing with the thinner paper. Cardstock's really easy. Okay, I need to go back a little because I could tell that I missed a spot a little bit. Sometimes if you just don't press down far enough when you go into the grooves, it won't cut all the way through. Okay. Okay, my little dog is playing with a squeaky toy behind me, so I'm going to grab that from her because it makes noise. Okay, I hope she'll be quiet through the video. She is. She's a puppy, so she's in here with me. She likes to be in here with me. She was asleep, and now she's awake. Okay, so go all the way around. Oops, I need to go backwards there. Okay, I'm almost done. There we go. All right, hopefully this turned out perfect. So I'm gonna pull up my template and be very gentle, leaving the blue tape on there. And then very carefully peel it off just so it doesn't peel off any of your paper or cardstock. I'm actually going to set this aside and use it again on another page. Now let's see if this turned out. I think it did. Yep. It looks perfect. Now, this is the outline that would normally be what I would call trash. But I'm going to save it to do another idea with you later. And then the part I need for this page is this part right here. Ooh, I can see there's some areas I'm going to need to have. I didn't cut all the way through, so I'm going to need to clean up a little bit with my scissors, but that's fine. So this is an example of how I told you, you know, on the edges you have to press firm. So it looks like I didn't press firm enough, so I'm just going to clean it up with these little micro scissors. These scissors are perfect for that kind of thing. Maybe, I hope it's just these two edges. I think it is. Nope, there's more. Wow. Sometimes I don't have to do this at all. And sometimes I do. There we go. And one more little piece. So just goes to show, you know what? It probably would have been smart for me to go all the way around one more time with the blade. That's what I should have done. Okay. Oh my goodness. Lots of edges. Okay, well, you can learn from my mistakes. It's not really a mistake, but just makes it a little harder if you have to clean it up that much. Now, when you have these little shaggy edges like this, just clean that up with your scissors. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe one more little edge right here. Needs to be cleaned up a little. All right, get this trash out of the way. Now, I'm going to save this for my other page as well. But this is all I need for this page from this brown paper. Okay, now I'm going to grab my yellow sunflower paper and mount this on top. Try to kind of make it even all the way around. And I'm going to mount it with my repositionable tape runner. Now for this, I'm not going to put my tape runner on before I put it down because it's really important for it to be placed right. And I see another area that I need to cut to clean it up a little. Seriously, I did this a while ago and I didn't have to do this to any. I think I got to talking and I just didn't press firm enough. Okay, so I'm going to place this down where it goes first. Because if I put my tape runner on first, it's going to stick down and I'm going to have to move it, and it's just easier to do it this way. So I want about the same amount of yellow to show all the way around. Grab my tape runner. I don't need that. Sorry about that. Now, I'm just going to put a little tape runner there, just a little dab. Little dab at this corner. And I'll go back and fill in with some tape runner on the edges. It's good. Just kind of make sure it's still placed right. Oh, she got another squeaky toy. Sorry, Miss Scout. Sorry about that. Okay, little tape runner here, and a little tape runner here. Okay, gummit. Okay, here we go. Here, here, here. All right, a little tape runner here, and then I'm just going to go kind of fill in the other areas and stick it down. Yeah, I'm good with that. I didn't put enough right here. All right, I think you get the idea. And then I would just go back around and put some more tape runner on the sides so that it would stick down. But I'm not going to do that now just to save time. And honestly, I need to move it down just a little bit if I'm trying to be perfect, which you don't have to be perfect, but I'd like to at least make it look sort of right. There we go. Okay, so I would mount that down all the way around, press it firm to make it stick, and then I would just add my embellishments. So this is the page. This and this are my embellishments. So I'm going to take my trimmer. This is from the Variety Matte Pack, and I'm going to first of all cut the sunflower off. The blade on the straight trimmer comes down on this left-hand side dotted line, and I can see that that line is starting to fade. So that means it's time to flip my mat. And I'm going to do that because your left-hand side dotted line is the one you always look at for where your blade's going to come down. So it's right there. So I want to line this up on that left-hand side dotted line. The straight blade's in here, and I'm just going to cut. And I drew little pencil lines already because I wanted to cut a little bit of the edge off. center it up just a little bit. It's lined up with that left-hand side dotted line. And cut. And now I have my sunflower square. And then I wanted this green behind it, because we don't really have a green paper, but we had this green mat. But if I put it here and cut it, I would end up with white. So what I did, I just cut the middle out a little bit and pieced it together. I think that'll be good. Yeah, and then I'm going to just piece this together. Actually, what I want to do, let me do this. I'm going to first mount the top of this here. And that's about how much I want cut off the top, you know, to show off the top. And then I'm going to mount it now where it's right at the bottom. So I'm just sort of realizing that would be the best thing to do. And then I'm just going to cut the edges off the sides to get about the same amount on the sides as I have on the top. So I'm just going to do that with my scissors because there's a straight line to go by with this pattern. And I'm happy with that. And here. Just a little bit. All right, so that's how I got that look right here. And then so I would mount that up here, and then I would pull out my pretend photos. So this would go here, photo here, photo here, photo here. I would mount those down, and then all I need to do is get my ruled paper, which is right here, and it needs to be 5 3/4 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall. I've already put my pencil lines there to cut, so I'm just going to cut that real quick. Line that pencil line up with the dotted line, and it measures up at 1 3/4 inches over here. Make sure it's straight all the way down and cut. And then flip it. And here's my other line. I'm going to match it with the dotted line. Make sure it's straight all the way at the top. And cut. Now I have my little strip to journal on. And then I would just mount everything down with repositionable tape runner. Okay. And I don't think I need to show y'all how to do the repositionable tape runner because we've already done it. Well, I'll show you on one picture. You just put a little dab at every corner. Okay. And then put your picture down. And then I would do the same thing to this, 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 and this. And then I would end up with this look. Okay. So that's how I did that page. Now I'm going to show you how to do the other page. So I saved this from what I just did, and I saved this. Okay. And these are the items that I used to make that. Oh, I did have another piece of that brown paper. Well, anyway, you get the idea. All right, so the first thing I want to do, I'm going to cut a tiny bit off of two sides of this because this is going to fit over it like a frame. But I don't want any to stick out the sides. So it's best just to cut a tiny little sliver off. I'm going to line this up with the outside, with the right-hand edge of this gray mat. And make sure it's straight at the top, and then just cut a little bit off, not much. And I can save that and do something else with it. Like I could use that on a sideboard or something. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Line it up with the right-hand side of that gray mat and cut. And so that should make it so that my brown part is slightly bigger than the yellow part. I'm going to place it over, and you want to place it so that it's all yellow underneath, okay? And then you would just lift it and put your tape runner like I did before. And then this, I still need to clean this up just a tad. Okay. There's an edge right here that didn't go all the way through. And I'm going to go pretty fast with this because you already know how to use everything else that I've done to finish this up because I did it on the other idea. And then this, there's one more little edge that I need to cut with my scissors. Okay. Then I would mount this down here. So you want to mount it so that about the same amount of yellow shows all the way around. So it's about the same thickness. And mount that down. And that's how you get this look. And then I just added my variety mat and my photos, added a sticker and a journal box, and I was done. So that is how you get two different looks from the same cuts on the brown paper. And this brown paper, again, is that pretty two-tone look. Which, you know, if you don't have that, you can always do it with cardstock and get the same effect. I do love these two-tone papers. I love this sunflower paper. And I love that Sunflower Fields collection. Thank y'all for watching my video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.